Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a woman is accusing a teacher in the Victoria ISD of verbally abusing her grandchild. 25 News Now has the district's response to the allegations. And a Victoria man is accused of inappropriately touching a child at a school sporting event in Bishop. We'll tell you where that move landed the suspect and the charges he's facing this morning. Turning out of Houston and the shooting at Joel Osteen's mega church on Sunday, authorities have released the name of the gunman responsible for the attack. We have her identity. It's coming up on Sunrise.
And we've got just a little bit more warm weather coming our way until possibly the last day of winter coming this weekend. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astroin.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 13th day of February 2024, and the time, looking at our clock, it is 6:30 on our Tuesday morning, and it is Tortellini Day. It's Tortellini Tuesday.
Tortellini Tuesday. Hey, the alliteration on that works.
And just in time for Mardi Gras, because it's the day to indulge right before Lent, which is tomorrow.
Lent. Yeah, that's tomorrow.
So I've got to start thinking about what am I going to give up for Lent this year,
Oh,
Parker?
yeah, that's true. You gotta make a wise decision on that one. And that's what I was talking about on the question of the day, by the way.
Yes, I just wasn't ready, Parker.
Sorry, I wasn't clear on that one.
All right, Parker, well, how is it looking?
Well, Carolina, it's looking a little chilly. In fact, it's actually looking quite nice if you're looking at the camera. That is, looking a live look at Victoria, where that sun is starting to come up, and you got some nice pink and blue and purple skies out there. Even a star out there. It looks like a star right there. There's a star right there, even with that sunset coming up, or sunrise coming up. But if y'all tuning in, like I said, Victoria, y'all are a little bit chilly out here right now, about 42 degrees. But with that dew point just 2 degrees off, you got a 92% humidity. So a little bit of a cold, maybe a bit of a humid morning as well. Not enough for fog, because you get that at 95% or higher. But for the rest of this week, if you don't like that cool weather that we had after that cool front, we're going to slowly warm up just a couple degrees at a time every day. But not only are the temperatures increasing, but the clouds are, and so are the rain chances before we get that cold front coming our way on Saturday, which we're going to drop to near freezing on Sunday morning, that is. But look at the temperatures right now all across the board. We are in the low 40s and some in the 30s. You've got 32 at freezing in Bay City, and I actually confirmed that y'all are at near freezing over there. It's very, very cold this morning. You might want to bundle up if you're heading out the door right now or this morning. But looking at the temperatures for the rest of the day, we're only heating up to the upper 60s today, and tomorrow, or I guess overnight tonight, we're dropping back to the 40s again. But tomorrow we're going to, like I said, every day this week, going to slowly warm up, getting up to about 70 tomorrow. It's going to be nice for the rest of this week. And then all that warming is actually because we got the southerly wind returning to our area, coming right back out of the Gulf, as you can see here by this afternoon. Look at that. All those winds coming right back into our area, bringing those winds out of the Gulf. But for the rest of this week, those winds are going to remain out of the south until we get that cold front coming on Saturday. And we'll take a look at that more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
The U.S. Senate passed the supplemental aid bill this morning. The vote was 70 to 29. The bill calls for $95 billion in aid to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. The Senate considered the foreign aid portion of the bill with the border security measures removed. The bill now goes to the Republican-dominated House, where it faces an uncertain future. Many House Republicans are opposed to further aid to Ukraine. House Speaker Mike Johnson has criticized the bill, citing its lack of border provisions. He issued a statement on Monday saying the Senate should have gone back to the drawing board to amend the current bill to include real border security provisions that would actually help end the ongoing catastrophe. A DPS spokesperson says a 28-year-old Victoria man was killed in a crash on State Highway 35 shortly after stealing a vehicle. Carl Henry Lang III is accused of stealing a vehicle. Shortly after that, authorities say he lost control and rolled several times into a pasture about 3 miles north of Point Comfort. Lang died at a Port Lavaca hospital Friday around 3:41 p.m. The crash happened just after 3 p.m. Authorities say Lang did not have a seatbelt on. The Victoria ISD under fire this morning after allegations of verbal abuse in the district. The report comes from a woman who claims her grandson's teacher has become verbally abusive toward him. The woman claims the teacher's behavior has done nothing but gotten worse, and now she's blaming the district for not doing enough in their investigation. Darius McCormick has the story.
I've done protocol, and protocol is a year later now, so there's got to be a stop to it.
Rojas claims the verbal abuse from her grandson's third-grade teacher started in February 2023. She says the yelling escalated to physical incidents, including jerking his arm.
She jerked him by his arm, and he came home and shared it with me and said, "Grandma, it hurt when she grabbed me and she jerked me."
She spoke with a doctor who advised her to report the situation involving the teacher. When she reported the teacher, Rojas was shocked with the district's response.
He said, "If you didn't see it or hear it, it didn't happen. Do I make myself clear?" And I'm in shock that someone would feel that way when we're crying out for help.
She says she's heard from other parents about similar situations in the district. Rojas left them with a word of advice.
Stand up and be a voice to your child, because your child needs that voice.
Monday afternoon, the VISD connected Rojas with a sheriff's deputy to investigate the situation. She reported this issue to Child Protective Services as well.
The Victoria ISD did respond to a request for a statement. You can find their response on our website, crossroadstoday.com. A 41-year-old Victoria man is accused of inappropriately touching a child. The incident reportedly happened at a school sporting event last Friday in the 100 block of Badger Lane. After getting a statement of what happened from a witness and the victim in the case, Bishop police say they took the suspect, Douglas Zalowski, down at the event without incident. Then they transported him to the Nueces County Jail on charges of indecent assault. Authorities say there's a possibility Zelkowski may face more criminal charges as their investigation continues. A 50-year-old convicted felon now faces another felony conviction. Authorities say Anthony Perry of Matagorda County now faces 2 life sentences following his latest conviction of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Perry is also convicted of unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. The charges come after he reportedly threatened his ex-wife, Onatha Banks, with a handgun on October 25, 2020. We now know the identity of the person police say is responsible for Sunday's shooting at Joel Osteen's church in Houston. Our sources have learned the reported shooter is identified as 36-year-old Janice Yvonne Moreno. Moreno was shot and killed by 2 off-duty officers as she walked into Lakewood Church Sunday carrying an assault-style rifle and opened fire. Police say Moreno legally purchased the gun she used in December of last year. Moreno also has several prior arrests dating back to 2005. They include unlawful carrying of a weapon, evading arrest, and assault on a public official. The big game champs are back in Kansas City. Chiefs coach Andy Reid was the first off the plane, hoisting the coveted Vince Lombardi trophy. Other players and their families followed, including Travis Kelce, the Chiefs quarterback, and Super Bowl 58 MVP Patrick Mahomes wasn't on board as he spent the day at Disneyland, a post-Super Bowl tradition. Kansas City defeated the San Francisco 49ers 25-22 in just the second ever big game to go to overtime. The Chiefs are the first back-to-back big game champions since the New England Patriots 20 years ago. And here are the 3 winners of Predict the Big Game. Michelle, Chrissy, and Galicia each win a $50 gift card to Dick's Food Store. A big thank you to everyone who took part in Predict the Big Game. 25 News Now will reach out to the winners. Congrats. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:38 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. The race for the District 30 House seat has attracted 4 candidates.
I'm ABC's M. Wynn in Washington. Growing fallout after former President Trump said he would not protect NATO allies who did not pay their fair share of defense spending. What European nations are saying now, coming up.
And also coming up after the break, we'll take a look at your school bus forecast, followed by your weather and health forecast. And later on Sunrise, take another look at that cold front that's coming our way this weekend.
A serious challenge prowls many streets across Victoria County. Roaming and stray animals pose a risk to the community, and finding their owners often impossible.
The animals that don't have a voice, that's what we're there for, to help.
So what's being done to ensure the safety of our streets and these lost or abandoned pets? Join me, reporter Lupi Zapata, for Safe Streets, Safe Pets, a 25 News Now Extra, Thursday night at 10.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. If you're all tuning in with us this morning, you're looking at a live look at Cuero, where that sun is coming up exposing those clear skies and exposing a chilly temperature as well this morning. Right now, about 38 degrees out there in Cuero, but with the dew point just 2 degrees off that temperature, you got a 91% humidity. So it's a bit of a chilly and also a little bit of a humid morning out there today. Not enough for fog because you get that at 95% or higher. But if you're seeing your kiddos out the door this morning, it can be about 40, maybe those upper 30s like you just saw. Well, we'll definitely pack them a jacket because it's going to be chilly, but only warming up to the upper 60s this afternoon under those sunny skies. So it's going to be a little bit cool kind of for the remainder of all day today. But if you don't like that, it's going to be warming up slowly for the rest of this week. We'll take a look at that in just a second because looking at your weather and health forecast, just that tree pollen is going to be moderate today with those winds really strong over the last couple of days. And the UV is a pretty normal moderate as well. But for the rest of this week, everything is on the rise, whether it's the temperatures, the cloud cover, or the rain chances before that cold front on Saturday. And we'll take a look at that in just a couple moments. Back to Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. After bombshell remarks this weekend, former President Trump is doubling down on saying he would not protect NATO members from future attacks if those countries fail to invest enough on their own national defense. Many from both sides of the aisle denouncing how Trump also encouraged Russia to attack those U.S. allies. President Biden calling those comments appalling and dangerous.
This morning, growing fallout after former President Trump said he would encourage Russia to attack NATO allies who failed to meet agreed upon defense spending goals.
No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
Trump doubling down on social media, NATO has to equalize, and now. NATO countries do not pay set dues to the alliance and do not owe the U.S. money, but they do commit to spending a certain amount on national defense, and most of them have not reached that goal. The White House underscoring NATO's importance to national and European security. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff telling NBC Trump's threat also puts U.S. credibility at stake.
We have an alliance, and we have a strong alliance. I think we have a responsibility to uphold those alliances.
Overseas, the reaction was swift. Poland's foreign minister responded by noting that Poland supported the U.S. in Afghanistan after 9/11, saying we didn't send the bills for that to Washington. Alliances also strengthen the United States.
I think this is exactly what Putin loves to hear. Our strength is our unity. And if we're not united, that makes us weaker.
Some Republicans are pushing back on Trump's comments, but his supporters are standing firmly behind him.
But if you're not going to defend your own country, why should our taxpayers defend it for them?
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham going one step further, now suggesting U.S. funding for Ukraine and Israel should be considered alone. Senators could greenlight more aid for those countries as soon as today. Trump's Republican rival Nikki Haley also blasted his comments, warning the last thing they should do is side with Putin. But as Trump gets closer to becoming the GOP presidential nominee, his grip and influence on the party appears to grow stronger. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
For the District 30 House seat has attracted 4 candidates. Republican primary candidate Vanessa Hicks Callaway says for the first time in many years, there's finally an open seat. This is her second time running for this office.
If we can put more money in the pockets of our families in the 30th district, well, that means that they will be able to have a thriving, boosting quality of life because they'll have more resources that they can spend on themselves as opposed to paying some property tax.
Today on 25 News Now at 5, we'll have District 30 Republican primary candidate A.J. Louderback live. Wednesday, we'll have District 30 Republican candidate Brett Baldwin. And on Friday, we'll have District 30 Republican candidate Jeff Bouknight on live. The Republican primary winner will face Democrat Stephanie Bassam in the November election. She's running unopposed in the Democratic primary election. We hope that you'll join us. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, do you plan to cast your March 5th election vote early? Okay, let's take a look. 46% of you say yes and the rest of you say no. We want to keep hearing from y'all. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. 4 candidates are running in the Republican primary. For Precinct 3, Victoria County Commissioner Marcus Salinas is seeking office for the first time. Salinas is a Victoria native and owner of Flying S Services and a maintenance tech for the Texas Department of Transportation. Salinas says his main goals are to continue the legacy of good public service.
For the Sheriff's Department and road and bridge budgets need to be looked at and addressed. Any drainage issues or concerns with the county. Mr. Burns has done an excellent job over his past terms and stuff, and we need to continue that track record that he has.
Also running for the Precinct 3 seat is Shannon Martin, Brad Tucker, and James Suderholtz. Early voting starts February 20th and Election Day is Tuesday, March 5th. So far, 4 people have filed to run for City Council in Victoria. Residents can run for any of the 4 regular City Council seats in District 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 candidates have filed, 1 for each position. Rafael de la Garza III is seeking re-election in District 1. Jan Scott is seeking re-election in District 4. Stephen Kidder has filed to run in District 2. Business owner April Butler has filed to run in District 3. The deadline to file for a place on the ballot is 5 p.m. this Friday, February 16th, and Election Day is Saturday, May 4th. And coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise, we hear from our friends at PAM Health.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. We got some of that cooler weather coming our way after that cool front this weekend, but we got some even more colder weather coming our way this weekend, which actually prompts us to ask today's weather poll. Today's weather poll asks, have you put away your winter clothes already? Let's take a look. All of y'all are saying no, all of y'all are saying no, yes. All of saying yes, you are saying no, that you have not put away your winter clothes yet, which makes me happy because we do have some more cold weather coming our way this weekend. But we'll take a look at that in just a second, because to vote on today's weather poll, go to crossroadstoday.com/vote-weather to participate and see what everybody else says as well. Yesterday we got up to 63 degrees, and that's only going to keep going up for the rest of this week because we've got high pressure going over there towards going eastbound towards pretty much toward the Gulf, but that's going to bring the southerly wind back to our area, bringing all that warm, humid air back off the Gulf. But once that pushes off east and goes out into the Atlantic, we are going to have a low. It's going to be a deep low coming off the Rockies, bringing us a cold front. Lots of Arctic, actually kind of almost the Arctic air gets all the way down here. It definitely gets up there in the north central plains. But that cold front coming our way by Saturday morning. And then once that cold front pushes off, we are instantly right back to warming up with those southerly winds off high pressure. But looking at your temperatures, as you can see here on Thursday and Friday, you can see that cold air mass coming all the way down here from up there in the north, where they're up in the negatives up there in the Dakotas. But then on Saturday morning by around 9 a.m. is when it gets here. And then as soon as that's out of our area, we warm right back up, as you can see here. But coming up a little bit, we're going to take a look at your forecast for that and the timing of that and the rain chances and more in just a few moments. Carolina, I hear you have a guest this morning.
I'm now joined by Tommy Byer. He's the CEO of PAM Health Rehabilitation Hospital here in Victoria. Welcome, Tommy.
Thanks for having me.
Always great to see you. So I hear you have a Valentine's job fair coming up.
Yeah, we thought it'd be kind of fun to do something on February 14th, Valentine's Day. We're calling it Fall in Love with Your Career. Looking for RNs, LVNs, CNAs, and then, of course, all of the physical therapy, occupational therapy, and those assistants that have some interest in maybe a change. It's a very limited amount of time. It's going to be on the 14th from 11 to 2 inside our facility on the 3rd floor at DTAR. It's PAM Health Specialty Hospital, Victoria South.
Oh, PAM Health Specialty Hospital.
That's correct.
And what can people expect when they get there?
So we're going to have potential for interviews on the spot. Bring your resume.
Wow.
We'll be able to do a little tour of that facility. It's a long-term acute care, but we're definitely hiring for all levels, rehab as well as LTAC. We actually have some outpatient level positions that potentially could be offered as well.
Are these good entry-level positions, or are you looking for people that are mid-career?
So we're excited to work with again, that licensure's the main thing. Having completed school and ready with a potential license. Maybe it's pending, but on its way soon. Looking for those kinds of folks that we can offer those positions on the spot.
And remind me of the time again.
So it'd be February 14th, 11 to 2.
11 to 2.
That's correct.
Is there going to be food?
Yeah, we'll have some little, of course, candies and a little something for those that arrive. It'll be nice.
And what would you say to someone who feels satisfied with their job at the moment, but maybe they're a little curious about what it's like to join the family.
I was going to say, yeah, the atmosphere with PAM, it's really the name stands for post-acute medical, but there's been this kind of organic production of a new term called PAMily. So it's a little corny, but it is a real thing, and it's been again with my time in our company for about 15 years. It's always been there. A really great sense of camaraderie, teamwork. If you thrive on that sort of thing, I really wish you'd come by and.
I think what you're trying to say, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe for sure.
Well, thank you so much, Tommy, for sharing the news about this Valentine's job fair at PAM Health Specialty Hospital. And we look forward to hearing more from you throughout the year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, well, coming up, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. 3 earthquakes hit Karnes County Monday morning. The U.S. Geological Survey tells KSAT the strongest of the 3 was a 3.9 magnitude earthquake near Falls City at 8:07 a.m. Falls City is 40 miles southeast of downtown San Antonio. No damage or injuries are reported. 2 earthquakes hit that area on back-to-back nights last week. Wednesday, Crestwood Drive will close between Navarro Street and Main Street from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. for paving operations. All businesses and homes in the construction zone will remain accessible. The construction is part of the Crestwood Drive Phase 3 reconstruction project. And we have another road closure notice to pass along to you this morning. Starting today, a portion of Givens Road off FM 446 will close. You can expect that closure from 9 a.m. to 3 today. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now we have time for a final check of our forecast with Parker. Parker, how's it looking out there?
Well, Carolina, it's looking nice and pretty as that sun's coming up, but also a little bit chilly out there this morning, folks. Right now, we're at 40 degrees here in the Crossroads, but 2.2 degrees off. It's a little bit humid as well, about at 93%. But coming our way this week, we're going to slowly warm up for the rest of this week. Just a couple degrees every day, with clouds also starting to increase, starting overnight tonight. I put that tomorrow, but tonight we're actually going to start increasing those cloud cover, and so are the rain chances before that big cold front comes our way Saturday morning. Looking at your highs for today, we're going to get up to about 67 here in the Crossroads. And like I said, every day this week, we're going to slowly warm up to about 70 tomorrow, and the day after that, slowly more, even more than that the next day. And all that is coming off. We got a high pressure system right over the east of Texas right now, giving us those southerly winds for the rest of this week. But when that high moves out to the east, we have a cold front coming off the Rockies and a low pressure system coming right off those Rockies. That's going to develop on probably on Friday, but that cold front is going to come through our area, and it's going to be a deep one coming through Saturday morning. But the good news is as soon as that cold front pushes off, high pressure returns immediately right back to the Gulf, warming us right back up starting late next week. But like I was saying, every day for the rest of this week, everything is on the rise, whether it's the temperatures, the cloud cover, or the rain chances, all coming up before that cold front comes our way, with some windy days and slowly warming up nice weather next week.
All right, thank you so much, Parker, for that forecast. And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Karina, Dawn, Mac, and Zach today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. And don't forget, it's Galentine's. I got to go wrap my gifts.
Oh, you do?
Well, have a great Tuesday.